Welcome and welcome back. We did get a reveal today. Let's talk about it. Today's main reveal was the Regenerate Demonic Pact. And what is this going to do? Runes, ammo, and charges have an X% chance to generate the resources spent. We kind of knew this was coming after yesterday's because there was the magic-related one where it is going to heal you for every water rune regenerated, so this makes a lot of sense. They were, in fact, giving us half of the information yesterday. However, there's a couple other things in here that I do want to talk about before I dive into the water side of things. One thing that's interesting with this, they do say it's an X%, and some folks were talking about maybe the idea that we would get multiple points into these particular, like, demonic pact things, and this sort of makes me wonder if that's true. It could be something like it scales as we go deeper into demonic pacts, whatever they look like. Or it could be that we do get multiple points into the thing, and maybe it's a scaling thing where, like, every point you put in, you get an extra 20% or something like that. I do kind of like the idea of being able to put points into these because it probably means that you end up with more unique builds out there, but we don't really have enough to fully decide on how good that would be. At least not yet. The mods have said there's more planned. I'm going to circle back to that particular talking point, though. Now, one thing that this does make me wonder about is if there's a world where we don't want ammo save. That's why I've got the little Ava's accumulator tractor thing right here. I doubt that that's the case. I have a feeling this would probably work regardless of if you're, like, literally saving the ammo or runes or whatever. But you'll see why I think they probably aren't doing this, though it would be interesting. It would be different. But yes, we do need to talk about water stuff today because yesterday I didn't really go that much into it because it didn't really make a lot of sense by itself. But now that we know we are going to have some sort of regenerative something here, then I want to see how good that, like, healing thing is for magic. Now, one spell that came to mind for me was Ice Barrage. And I know I talked about this a little bit yesterday. It uses 6 water runes. Now, we don't know if this is, like, regenerating the entirety of your cast costs, which would be everything here, or if it's, like, on the individual rune basis, so maybe it does a roll for death runes, blood runes, water runes. Maybe it even does a roll for, like, individual water runes. That much we don't know. However, I did hear you guys. Yeah, I mean, it makes a lot of sense where you're like, well, if I'm on Ancients, why wouldn't I just heal with blood spells? You're right. I think that this is a weak case for something like this. However, keep in mind, for Ancients, you have to either go to the desert, or you have to take Grimoire. And you may not want to take Grimoire and the Relics, because, I mean, Culling Spree is one of the things that it's up against. We don't know the other one, but there's a pretty good case to be made that maybe you want Culling Spree. So if you don't end up with Ancients, then what is the spell that you're looking at? Well, it's going to be Water Surge. Now, Water Surge uses a lot of water runes, 10 of them. I did see a couple of folks talking about maybe there's, like, an idea where there's a mastery that actually increases the rune cost, or maybe, like, an echo item increases the rune cost, like the Kandarin one. I don't know if we'll end up like that, but if the regeneration does get up to the point where it gives you essentially 100% chance to regenerate all of the stuff here, that would be 10 HP heals every time you cast a magic spell. And yeah, standard spells are 5 tick. It's not, like, ultra impressive. It would be a lot of healing, but it's not, like, crazy. Because you would probably still, I want to say you would out-heal it with blood spells. I don't know if that's completely true, but at least from, like, a percentage-wise, blood spells heal, like, 25% of the damage you deal. And because you can hit 30, 40, 50 with that, yeah, I mean, you're not going to be, like, maxing all the time unless that ends up being a mastery. But I do kind of understand where people are coming from. So I'm still not fully convinced that this would be good, but it does kind of line up with some of the other things that they've shown us. Obviously, with Kandarin, we have the Devil's Element, so that is giving us, well, potentially giving us a boost in elemental damage, water being one of those. We have the Dark Evil Spork, which we still don't know exactly what that is going to do, and we do get Wrath Runes from Kandarin. So I think this really feels to me like they are pushing us towards a Kandarin build, and since we're on the topic of elemental weakness, I wanted to just actually go through and see what are the good things for water weakness, because I was trying to save this until we got the stats for all of the echo items, but I think this makes water spells important enough that we can look at it right now. And in terms of the bosses, Asgardia definitely has the best spread, which makes me a little nervous. Are they really gonna try and push people towards, like, KAT? This build just keeps like haunting me, dude, in my dreams. Ugh, more like a nightmare. Can you imagine having to take Kandra and Taronwyn in the same build? But yes, as Garnia, you know, you've got like half of the Royal Titans. You've got Cerberus. Maybe the Echo Cerberus is also going to be weak to water. Mole. Basically everything in Zami God Wars is weak to water. They also added water weakness to essentially everything in both the Fight Cave and the Inferno. So water spells, I think, in the Inferno especially, just to have all of that passive healing on there, plus having the weakness, it might actually be quite good for this specific use case. Kandra, you get demonic gorillas, which are weak to water. This doesn't sound that great, personally, but I'm trying to give it something here. It is a big creature. You're going to be killing them. And then in Karen, we have Skatizo and Yama. I know some folks have said, like, oh, we might have, like, some sort of secret Yama fight somewhere else. Maybe. For now, he's here in Karen. If we all get access to him, that does give more benefit to this regardless of the area. But either way, looking at this, I mean, there's not, like, a ton of water weaknesses out there. There are still some, like, other mobs that you can go through, but it's nothing, like, super crazy. Asgardia is definitely, like, the best region if you want to do this against bosses. But other elements, they tend to do a little bit better. So let's pretend, you know what, maybe we don't care about water weakness and we just want the healing. How good is Water Surge? If you get all the way up to 95 magic, that's the max level surge spell that you're going to be able to unlock, being Fire Surge, then your max hit on Water Surge is going to be 24. I know that's not impressive, but hold on. In a perfect world, putting the shadow aside, if we get like max magic gear together, we should be somewhere around 50% magic damage percentage. And this doesn't include other masteries. This doesn't include relics. This doesn't include fancy echo effects or whatever. That would mean our max is a 36. I know that doesn't sound impressive, but we generally do have other things that stack on top of this. So I think there is at least hope, just not a lot right now. Just not a ton, okay? I mean, standard spells, they're just, they've seen stronger days, that's for sure. But, you know, if we have something like maybe the Spork of Doom spreads water weakness to everything, I mean, maybe. If the Devil's Element doubles water weakness again, maybe. There's still just, like, not that much water weakness, so I feel like they've gotta be planning something behind this that we don't have access to yet. I just keep getting that feeling they're giving us, like, half of the info. Speaking of half of the info, this was the other reveal today. Goodness gracious. I mean, at least we get to see what the weapons are going to look like. They basically said, hey, more reveals coming on the 10th, which, fine. I mentioned Skritic in here. Skritic, you and I have to talk, man. I mean, what's going on with this? Come on. Come on. And this is the first day that we don't even have a relic board update. So, okay, here's where I go a little bit on a tangent. It is frustrating the way that they've been giving us this information this time. I really wish if they had like these small bits, they would just hold it. Just hold off a little, because is it so wrong to give you Jack a break? Like one day in the league? You know what? I know I'm not the only one. Yeah, I'm making content on this stuff, so of course, like, I'm keyed into it. But there's a lot of people here, like in the Discord, in the league's Discord, just online. They're waiting for these reveals, and gosh dang, when they're small like this, and you just go, I don't think they're giving us everything. It's because they're not, and it doesn't feel. This isn't hype. This is tearing your hair out while you're waiting. Mod Frogs did say her and Sarni have some stuff planned for us later this week, so holding out. And we know the 10th, we're getting all the weapon breakdowns. Thanks, Skritic. Dang it, you. But I didn't want to leave you without a board update. Okay, you know what? If Jagex isn't going to give us something, I'm going to give us something. So, I've heard your cries. I think only one relic on the board deserves a full trash can. And at this point, I don't think it's Binsman anymore. That's right. We have got the map of garbage. Woodsman, welcome back to the club. Okay, it's a real relic. It does good things. I'm convinced, just because it has the Quetzal Whistle charges on there, so it even does better teleports than the stupid map of garbage, okay? We've got a new trash can relic. It's locked in. I'm not changing it. There's your board update for the day. How'd we do? It's probably a shorter video, but thanks for watching. I appreciate you being here. If you want to see all of the daily reveals, whether they be big or small, then make sure to subscribe. I do have a League's Progress series planned as well, so that's going to be on the channel. And of course, the Discord's linked down below. So if you want to join us and complain about how small all of the reveals are and how disappointed you are that they haven't given us any information this year and we're like a week out, then you can join the Discord and do that. All right, I'll see you there. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next one.